published 1242 ESC, the 24th of November 2017, updated 1500 ESC, the 24th of November 2017. On an aircraft carrier, if a crew member makes one small misstep, the results could be deadly. The huge warships have planes taking off and landing regularly and with up to thousands of personnel on board and plenty of moving parts in the launching and landing processes. A clear system must be in place to minimize the possibility of dangerous mistakes. The U.S. Navy has a system of color coordinating the roles of different crew members by their helmets, jackets and vests, so there is no question who is supposed to be doing what. The U.S. Navy has a system of color coordinating the roles of different crew members who assist in the taking off and landing of planes on the decks of aircraft carriers. Because it can be dangerous dealing with so many moving parts in the process, the Navy has categorized jobs into 7 different colors: purple, blue, green, yellow, red, brown and white. Crew members can be differentiated by the colors of their jackets, vests and helmets, which help everyone to know who is doing what. Pictured is several crew members aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln in 2005 saluting then Deputy Secretary of Defense Paul Wolfowitz Center in white. Preparations for a launch very much resemble a well-choreographed ballet, the Navy's website says. Those involved in the evolution have specific, clearly defined roles and are easily recognizable by the color of their jerseys. For example, the crew members who fuel the aircraft wear purple and are nicknamed grapes. There are 7 colors to categorize jobs on the deck of carriers: purple, brown, yellow, blue, green, red and white. Though some colors symbolize several jobs, the categories help operations to run smoothly in the high-pressure environment of an active aircraft carrier. Crew members who wear purple on the deck of the carriers fuel and defuel planes, which can be dangerous because of the hot engines and explosives on the planes and on deck. These personnel are nicknamed grapes. The crew wearing yellow are aircraft handling officers, catapult and arresting gear officers and plane directors. They are the men and women who deal with and direct the planes, especially for taxiing. Crewmen launch a U.S. Navy Super Hornet off the deck of the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier on July 14, 2017 in Townsville, Australia. USS Ronald Reagan is a 1,092-foot aircraft carrier which carries a crew of 4,539, around 60 aircraft. Exercise Talisman Sabre is the largest combined military exercise undertaken in Australia. The biennial exercise is the principal Australian and U.S. military training activity. Crew who wear blue are directed by those who wear yellow to handle the planes and operate aircraft elevators and tractors. They also serve as messengers between crewmen. Crew members who wear brown are unit, or air wing plane captains and air wing line leading petty officers. The captains oversee their individual planes including maintenance, launch and recovery, while the petty officers are more involved in the hands and leadership of the unit, according to website Foxtrot Alpha. Purple aviation fuels, blue plane handlers, aircraft elevator operators, tractor drivers, messengers and phone talkers, green catapult and arresting gear crews, air wing maintenance personnel, cargo handling personnel, ground support equipment, GSE troubleshooters, hook runners, photographers, mates, helicopter landing signal, enlisted personnel, LSEYELLOW, aircraft handling officers, catapult and arresting gear officers, plane directors, ordnancemen, crash and salvage crews, explosive ordnance disposal, EODBROWN, air wing plane captains, air wing line leading petty officers, white air wing quality control personnel, squadron plane inspectors, landing signal officer, LSO air transfer officers, ATO liquid oxygen locks crews, safety observers, medical personnel, aircraft handling officers, catapult and arresting gear officers and plane directors, who are all involved in dealing with the planes on deck, wear yellow. Those who wear blue are directed by those who wear yellow to handle the planes and operate aircraft elevators and tractors and to pass along messages to other crew. Personnel wearing green do some of the hardest and most dangerous jobs on deck, including those who maintain catapult and arresting gear on the ship, and hook runners, who ensure wires on the ship end up where they need to be. Others who wear green include photographers, mates and helicopter signal enlisted personnel. The crew who wear red include those who handle the plane's weapons by moving, mounting and arming the aircraft, according to Foxtrot Alpha, which can sometimes mean moving 500-pound missiles on the shoulders to get it to the right plane. Quality and safety observers, inspectors and medical crew members wear white, as well as the officers who handle mail, cargo and passengers, and the landing signal officers who help approaching aircraft to land on deck. Aircraft carriers are the largest warships on the seas and are frequently the flagships for fleets. There are 41 active aircraft carriers total in the world, with 11 of those being operated by the U.S. Navy. The remainder of the carriers are run by 12 other navies around the world. According to Foxtrot Alpha, the U.S. Navy's color system is similar to systems on other carriers operated by other navies. Unit, or air wing plane captains and air wing line leading petty officers wear brown. The captains are in charge of their individual planes, including maintenance, launch and recovery, while petty officers are more involved with the hands-on leadership of the unit. Some of the most difficult and dangerous jobs on deck are taken on by the crewmen wearing green. Those jobs include the crew who maintain catapult and arresting gear on the ship, and hook runners, who ensure wires on the ship end up where they need to be, as Navy sailors assigned to the catapult crew aboard the aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson CVN-70 are pictured preparing the launch area for the next launch from the flight deck. A green shirt hook runner crew member on the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier looks on before the launch of Super Hornet aircraft on July 14, 2017 in Townsville, Australia. The crew who wear red include those who handle the plane's weapons by moving, mounting and arming the aircraft. The ordnance crew aboard the USS Enterprise aircraft carrier are pictured loading missile onto an FA-18 fighter jet for a strike mission into Afghanistan from somewhere in the Arabian Sea. Aviation ordnancemen inspect ordnance, or artillery, on the flight deck of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman CVN-75 in 2016. The Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group is deployed in support of Operation Inherent Resolve, maritime security operations, and theater security cooperation efforts in the U.S. Fifth Fleet area of operations. Ordnance crewmen aboard USS Enterprise moving missiles. One inscribed WTC in honor of victims of the World Trade Center terror attacks of September 11, 2001, before loading them onto fighter jets for use in Afghanistan. Flight deck personnel give final clearance to launch an E-2C Hawkeye assigned to the Grey Hawks of Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron 120 VAW-120, during flight operations aboard USS John C. Stennis CVN-74 in 2004. Quality and safety observers, inspectors and medical crew members wear white, as well as the officers who handle mail, cargo and passengers, and the landing signal officers who help approaching aircraft to land on deck. Pictured in 2012 is then Secretary of Defense Leonie Panetta, escorted by Commander of Strike Group 12 Rear Admiral Walter E. Carter Jr. Wright walks on the flight deck of the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise in January 2012.